Hello students, how are you? And today I am here with the new chapter of Accountancy. Chapter number 9, Books of Original Entry Journal. In last chapter you studied the double entry system, in which topic that each and every transaction affected at least two accounts, and after that you studied about the different source of documents which are the evidence of the business transaction. Now it is turn to record the business transactions in the books of business organization. So in this chapter, books of original entry, you studied that how a business organization record its transaction in the books of journal. What is the process and which methods are used and how can we write the journal entry. So first of all, meaning of chapter, books of original entry. Why we called books of original entry? Because the books, journal is a book, the book in which transactions are recorded for first time. अब ये जर्नल जो है, इसमें जो ट्रांजैक्शन, जो बिजनेस की ट्रांजैक्शन है, उसमें ट्रांजैक्शन को फर्स्ट टाइम रिकॉर्ड किया जाता है. That's why a source with the help of source document, that's why it is called books of original entry. Now meaning of journal. Journal is a prime book. It is called prime book of original entry, books of prime entry, because transactions are recorded when they occur in the business. As possible as transaction will be occur in the business, then after that, just that it is recorded in the books of journal. And in the journal, transactions are recorded according to chronological order. Chronological order means according to date. First of all, we record the transaction of first date of the month transaction, after that second, after that third. So the entries, that's why it is called books of original entry. And the entries which are written into the journal, both aspects, debits and क्रेडिट्स, जो भी ट्रांजैक्शन, जो भी एंट्रीज इसमें रिकॉर्ड की जाती हैं, वो उसमें विच अकाउंट इज डेबिट एंड विच अकाउंट इज क्रेडिटेड. It is also called waste book. Journal is also called waste book because and some business organization don't use this book directly. They record the transaction in the ledger accounts. So that's why it is called waste book or rough book. Otherwise its another name is the memorandum book. And now transactions which are recorded in the journal, जो भी transaction journal में record की जाती है, that single transaction is called journal entry. And process of recording, which process, which method is recording in used transaction in the journal is called journalizing. When we record the journal business transactions in the journal, that process is called journalizing. So it is the meaning of journal. Now features of a journal. It has many features. First of all, transactions are recorded first of all. First of all means whenever a business transactions occur, after that it is recorded in the journal with the help of source document. Source document के साथ उसको attach करके it is recorded in the journal. Second, transactions are recorded according to chronological order. transactions which are recorded in journal that are related that are recorded on the chronological order. Chronological order means according to date wise. Firstly, month first date, second date, third date, that is called chronological order. Third features of the journal is it records both aspects debit and credit. Whenever transactions occur, and in journal it record both aspect of the business transaction, which account is debit and which account is credit. Next is the process we use to journalizing the entry, that double entry system. Journal follow double entry system, and in double entry system you studied that the each and every business transaction affect at least two accounts in both opposite direction. What is increase and maybe other is decrease, both are in opposite direction, and journal follow the double entry system. Next is the each transaction is explained briefly, called narration. After recording the transaction, we explain the transaction briefly, and that brief description is called narration. So these are the features of journal. Next is the advantages of journal. Because journal is the first book of the accountancy or book of accounting of a businessman, so it has lot of advantages for businessman. First of all, it reduces the chances of error in the books, because transactions are recorded according to chronological order, so there will be no one person make the error in the books. It reduces the chances of error. By recording it, errors are less. Second is comparison can be done easily, because complete transactions are recorded, that we can compare the transaction very easily. Second is the narration. Third, we give the journal entry with narration, brief description, and this narration helps to understand the entry properly, because after the giving journal entry, we write the brief description related to journal entry, that is called narration, and by the help of this narration, we and businessman understand the journal entry properly and easily. Next is the provide permanent record of all transactions, because journal is a permanent record, because no one can change the journal entries after recording into the books. So it provides permanent record of all transaction date wise, and we check it, we find the solution, we check it after the passage of time. Next is the journal is helpful in locating errors. Journal is also helpful in to locating errors if they are so made. Next is the when work become so lengthy, then journal is subdivided. When a business organization is become very big, that means workload of the journal entries are so lengthy. Large number of transactions are occur in a one day, so that's why work becomes so lengthy. Then the journal is divided in sub parts, and that sub parts is called subsidiary books. So no problem, when the work will be increased, so we don't maintain one book, we divide the journal into many books that are called subsidiary books. Next is the limitations of journal. It has many benefits, but it has some limitations also. Firstly, big business. When the size of business is increased, then a single then maintain of single journal is become so bulky because lengthy, because in a one day there are 40-50 transactions in one a day, and how can it possible in a journal every day we record 50 transactions, 100 transactions. So that why for big business its work becomes so bulky and lengthy. That is the limitations of journal. Second limitation is that it fails to provide the information which a business owner wants. Actual में business owner wants to know the profit, earning, expenses, that are the main motive to know the. But journal does not provide this information, so that's why it fails to provide the information which a businessman wants. Third is posting the journal entry into ledger accounts takes too much time. Firstly, we record the business transactions in journal. After that, we transfer this, we posted this journal entries in the ledger accounts. Second book of the accounts, that is called ledger, and we transfer this journal entries in ledger. So, and transferring the entries into ledger is taking so too much time consuming and energy consuming. That is, next limitation is it is not helpful to control internal. It is only record of the business transaction, but it is not useful, not helpful to control the internally of our business on expenses, income and wastage. So that's why these are the limitations of journal. Next is the functions of journal. एक जर्नल जो है वो which work he performs, journal performs lot of work, and first is the keep chronological record, because in journal transactions are recorded according to chronological order, that means date wise. So when we check the journal, it maintain the chronological record of the business transaction. Second is function of the journal is to analyze the transaction into debit and credit by double entry system. With the help of journal, transactions are analyzed and check why this account is debited and why this account is credited by using the double entry system. Next function is to provide basis to the ledger accounts. With the help of journal, we can easily transfer posting the journal entries in the next book of accounts, that is ledger. So that's why it is the base of ledger account, that is means next step of the accounting. And last function of the journal is keep complete record of the transaction on permanent basis. Which transactions are recorded in journal, that on the basis of permanent, we don't change the journal entries, and so that it's keep the complete record of transaction. If any dispute, if any emergency, we can use this transaction, we can show this journal to the business owner. It is the complete record of transaction on the permanent basis. So these are the functions of journal. So I hope you understand all this topic related to journal, meaning of journal, after that features of journal, advantages, limitations and function. Thank you. You revise this theory and have a nice day.